Hello everyone, welcome to our second Cave Girl chat, and it's going to be a good one. They're just going to keep getting better and better. The last time was so good. So yesterday, together we foraged snowberries. And this morning there's snow. That's all I have to say, is like, there are no coincidences. As I was foraging those berries, I was thinking about my childhood and how much I love snow and how much I want snow to come and how healing that would be for me. So there just are no fucking coincidences, and that's all I have to say, is like, if you see your life falling into a certain area, and all these funny coincidences happening. Hey, Kitty and Uncle Badger, welcome you guys. Look, it snowed, it's so beautiful. It's one of my very favorite things. Now, it didn't snow a lot, which is good, because then it doesn't keep us from stuff. But it snowed enough to play in, and I sure will be doing that later. Hagtessa, welcome. Nice to see you. Yeah, yay, snow, exactly. And I brought gloves this time. I have like layers on. So we'll be able, and my phone is fully charged, so we'll be able to do a good Cave Girl chat. Newest Cave Girl accessory is just hilarious. I just used it. I said there are no fucking coincidences. It's a good way to like help censor yourself. If swearing is a part of your expression. Dark Side Watcher Media, welcome. One of your favorite things. Very good. Snow is one of my favorite things too, and as a kid it was just like, and it wasn't even about getting the day off from school, because like you could still come home and play in it. It was more about like rest, and the power went out, which, hey, Drowgler's here, welcome, and the power would go out and all that stuff. And I also have like some stuff here that we're gonna go through. This, when you don't have internet, you better hope you have encyclopedias if you're doing research. Like when I started school, we used encyclopedias, and then toward the end of school, we were using the internet, I guess. But I graduated in the year 2000, so there just wasn't like a school internet use before then. Yeah, and so it's just funny when you're just like thinking about it one day and then all of a sudden it's here when you wake up the next morning. Like I woke up and I jumped out of bed and I was just like, yes, woo! It's snowing, and it was actually snowing when I woke up. And then I thought, oh, I hope it stops snowing so I can go out there and do a video, because I guess I could put an umbrella over the camera. Get kind of clever that way. So we're going to read from the encyclopedia the definition of coincidence or coincidence. And I would like for you guys to, before we read, put out your definitions. Like, what does it mean to you in a technical term, if you know, like, the definition? And then what does it mean to you personally? Because, hey, Tracy, welcome. Nice to see you. I feel like it's when logic kicks in is when we start to go, oh, that's just a coincidence, or oh, that's just... But these are signs from either your higher self or from spirit guides of what's going on. And, spirit guides and higher self can talk to you through numbers, through technology, through music. There are many times where I ask my spirit guides, I, like, have a bunch of CDs still from, like, the 90s, Like, technically they'd be vintage CDs. I don't actually know how they still play. But I have all these CDs, and I will ask my spirit guides if I have, like, show me a message through the music. And then so I'll pick, like, one CD out of there, put it in, and it always has a message for me. This is, I guess, I read it's another way that twin flames communicate, which is really interesting. Don't know too much about all that stuff, really. Never really done the research on it, because, like I said, I didn't believe it for a long time. But I've met some people recently that are just like, how could you deny it, And, I don't know, it's all happening. 13 people here in the chat, welcome. We foraged snowberries yesterday, and this morning I woke up to some snow. Now here's the thing, this is also a cool thing. There's no snow about 2 miles from here. It's just in like this radius right here, because we're kind of toward the top of the mountain. So, and there was no like weather forecast, not that we would have heard it, because we don't like always turn on the news, I avoid the news as much as possible. Here's the news. Look outside. not only for the weather, but for everything else. And I forgot to tell you guys this the other day, or maybe I did mention it. When big things happen like Super Bowls and Grammy Awards ceremonies and American Idol when it was on, those are the times that you should be going outside and looking up in the sky, or perhaps doing a ritual or a meditation, because there's a lot of those are just distractions, and that's no coincidence. Those are just distractions. I have a new symbol. I want to see if you guys like it, or if you guys can decode it. I said it yesterday on the channel. It's a phrase. And I drew this morning. And I want to know what you guys think about it, and if anybody's offended by me saying it. Because, not that I would stop saying it if people were offended, but I just want to know, like, if it makes people upset. Weather Channel is a window. Yeah, your Weather Channel. Yeah, what's the weather? Look outside. What's it going to be tomorrow? We'll see. And if you stress about stuff, like if snow scares you, and you find out 3 days before it's going to snow, you're going to have anxiety that whole time about driving to work and possibly crashing, or having some idiot crash into you. I guess this isn't really covering up. Maybe I should do idiot crash into you. Hey, Jezebel. It's so nice to see you. Is it snowing where you're at? My eyes water when it's cold. Yep, Jez and Badger. So nice to see you guys together, because you guys are dear friends. My headband is awesome. Thanks. It's a beanie. It's one that I like to wear in the graveyard. My best friend and I, who talk every day, was saying, you have so much cool clothes. There must be great clothes shops in Seattle. And I was like, there must be. I can't afford any of them. I go thrifting and I pick up other great people, stuff great people have bought. So this has like studs all over it, and I like to wear it in the graveyard because not only is it a head covering, but it's also like spiky protection, and it's black, so it's like warding negativity. Yeah, but when I got it, I just got it because I was like, thought it was cool, and I thought I could make it into a cool looking outfit. It never looked as cool with blonde hair, though, I have to say. So yes, how do people feel about the phrase love and lightning? It's basically talking about like, well, I'm not teasing anyone for saying love and light, because I think it's a beautiful thing to say. But I honestly think that it's like not embracing the duality of truth and balance and the real truth of the universe, like it's not all it's not all love and light, it's there's a lot of negativity out there. I think most of us here on the channel are that love and light energy, but the truth is, and it's just, love and lightning. So if that phrase offends anyone, just let me know, just so I can know. But if it doesn't, then I'm going to use it a lot more. Y'all went quiet on me. What's going on in your heads? I'm getting nervous. Oh, you didn't go quiet. I just had the thing wrong. Yeah, it is very protective, because, even when you put it on backwards on accident, it hurts your head. So if anything came to try to get into my head, it would be, I thought I saw something back there. It's a cool sigil. You should put it on your Etsy things. Yeah, maybe I should. I just don't want to offend anybody, because they're like, lightning, and I don't want anyone to think I'm teasing love and light, because I know that that's a beautiful thing to say. You like that, Jez? Love and lightning? Yeah, cool. Okay, cool. We're getting freezing, Tracy says we're getting freezing rain, then 4 to 8 inches of snow, hoping the boss closes the office tomorrow. And that's like an adult snow day, right? Like when you don't have to go to work. Here's the funny thing about us living here up on this mountain, and town being down below, like down at sea level, is you'd call in sick to work and you'd be like, I can't come because I can't get out of my driveway. There's 2 feet of snow. And there is, like, we get 2 feet of snow up here where nobody else does. And you'll drive literally 2 miles away and there's just an inch or 2. And so when you call in sick to work, back in the, like when I was calling in sick to work because of the snow, we didn't have cell phones where you could just say, send me a picture of snow then, all over your car. Which I totally would have just done. Like, look, I can't come to work. Because you can't really fake that, can you? I don't know. Maybe with technology and that. So, we are going to look up coincidences, but I want you guys to tell me, like, how you feel about coincidences. I got a couple comments on that. I appreciate that. But I want your intuitive opinions on what the truth is, you know, because we're going to look up the definition and see what it says, and then we're going to talk about that some more. All right, Katie, we'll see you soon. Hey, Iridescent, see? Hey, you got the snow, yes. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. This is the first snow of the year, and I picked snowberries yesterday, so they're just... And I gave up another vice yesterday. Like, I'm slowly trying to get healthier. I gave up another vice yesterday, and so I think this is a gift for, like, giving that up, which is amazing. Hey, I didn't say hello to Greystone Gardens yet. Me and Peggy, or we're gonna go Grey Gardens. It kills me, all the channels that insist on only positivity. Right. So, I mean, we definitely got the love, but we definitely have the lightning, too. You know, love and lightning, it's all happening, you guys. You said, JVS says, well, I don't know, I think the lightning bolt is a little eh. When I see a lightning bolt, I think of Grateful Dead. Oh, yeah. No, and if you don't like... Yeah, but one of my favorite albums of all time is Grateful Dead American Beauty from start to finish. Like, so many good songs. Candyman's on there. And the steel guitar. And if you guys have ever watched the show Freaks and Geeks, at the end, they meet these hippies. And it was like the early 80s. This is when the album came out. And the hippies... were so excited she had never heard American Beauty. And she's like, I wish I had never heard it so that I could hear it for the first time again. That's how I feel about, like, Pink Floyd. Like, especially Dark Side of the Moon. Oh, my God. So good. So, yes, Greystone Gardens. Coincidence is a synchronicity. That's absolutely right. I'm guessing that this book won't say that. But that's absolutely right. And so if we pay attention to these synchronicities, and we're not... They can come through our phone as well. Don't get me wrong. They can come through music. They can come through technology. They can come through pictures you see on Instagram. Sure. But if you get outside and you start looking at addresses of buildings or just random, like, just, you'll see things. And what you were thinking in that moment when you saw it is usually how I've found that my spirit guides will communicate, or my higher self will communicate to me. So really be conscious of your thoughts while you're looking around. Because half the time I'm like, oh, I found a 333 on the side of the building and there's graffiti on it and that's amazing. But I can't remember what I was thinking about because I got too excited. So have this calmness so that you can recognize the synchronicity. And perhaps it's not even that. Perhaps it's a number that you're in love with, like a 111 or a 330 or whatever. Synchronistic number. Hey, Brittany, welcome. And then try and... Oh, I lost my thought. But Brittany, it was worth it. Don't worry. It's nice to see you. What was I saying? So, doesn't matter. You guys get what I mean. Brittany, welcome. Love and lightning to you. Glad you're here. Jen, Jerome John Garcia was my crush at 10 years old. So cute. That's so cute to me. But yeah, this does look kind of Grateful Dead. I never really thought of it. But I get what you're saying. It looks like the bolt coming through the skull and all that. And guys, I brought gloves so that if my hands get cold so that I could stay out here longer, and my phone's fully charged. So we're going to have a nice long cave girl chat because I know most of you can only stay for a little bit, but I'd like to say hi live to as many people as possible because I did those 3 live yesterday. 1 foraging snowberries, 1 at the sea, and 1 in the graveyard, and I told that crazy story, about either a future vision of myself or a doppelganger or a spirit that I see in the cemetery, but I think I was seeing a future version of myself. So listen to that graveyard story from yesterday, because we went in there and I talked about it, and it is nuts. Mage Prometheus is here. Welcome. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before. I'm so glad that you're here. So I guess now it's time to look up the word coincidence. I brought both of the C encyclopedias just in case I was spelling it wrong. Is it COI? Can someone type in the word coincidence for me? Technology has made me not a good speller because when I type something in text, it just says the rest of the word. So Thomas or Brittany or someone, can you guys do that for me? Hey, Brittany, I'm going to make you a mod if that's okay. You don't have to have any responsibility here. I just have been getting more people that are saying funny stuff on the live streams, and sometimes I space out and don't look at the chat, so. Coincidence. Coin. Coincidence. Coin. I'll just look up coin. C-E-D. Damn it. C-O-I-N. Good thing I brought both. And then dropped it in the snow. Shh, don't tell Peggy. Mom, sorry. Because you'll see this later. Alright, I have to zip up my coat because it's getting all over the place. Give me a second. There's my glove. Sprinkles, snow, sprinkles, sprinkles, sprinkles. Sprinkly snow. So yeah, a friend gave this coat to me a long time ago. It's a big Michael Kors coat. Again, I've only ever purchased one cool coat with my own money, and that was the one you guys saw yesterday. And that red Hell Bunny coat with the hood and fur. And furs. I've purchased furs, but they're all from like a thrift store. Anyway, this was a gift, and it's like the perfect snow jacket. Like, it's ugly as hell, but it's the perfect snow jacket. The zipper's not working. Come on. Oh good, there's snaps. I'll just snap it. Snip, snip, snap. But it's got feather, like down, so there's goose in here, so that's real taxidermy. We have goose feathers surrounding our body. Perhaps you could do some astral work in a goose feather coat. You know, for that flight, you could do great meditation in a goose feather coat. You could, it's talking about goose feathers and that, you could sit on your feather pillow while doing meditation. I mean, these are things we probably don't think of all too often, right? But these are things that I think of on a whim. All of the bleeding time. So, where are we? Coincidence. Coin. C-O-I. When the power goes out, you can still do your homework if you have encyclopedias, because I literally used these to do projects when I was a kid. When I was a kiddo. Moon Moth Goddess, welcome! I want to make sure I see everybody here. Coincidence. Okay, here we go. Now, it takes a little longer than Googling it, but, you know, life doesn't stop. You have books, which is great. Coin. We love coins, don't we? Oh, there's coin. If it doesn't have the word in here, I'm going to be really disappointed, because, like, I had to dig these out of the... It has coin collecting, also known as numismatics. I should tell my dad that. Coinage. Well, that's a frickin' disappointment. Can somebody Google coincidence, I guess? I was gonna use the encyclopedia, but it's not in here. Which is such... Cologne? I'll tell you. Let me see if they've got it. Talks about John... Cola, Coca-Cola, they're all here. Coke, Sir Edward, but no coincidence. Well, okay, that's a sign to me. Here's why that's a sign to me. Is that, for some reason, they didn't put a really common word, or a fairly common word, into the encyclopedia. Why? Because if you knew about coincidences and how they are signs from your... I don't know, you guys. What's the opposite of coincidence? Synchronicity? What's the opposite of the word coincidence? I pronounce it differently. I pronounce it coincidence, but... You know, so if somebody wanted to put those definitions up there for me, I'd be really happy. Here's Uncle Badger. Here's a definition of coincidence. A remarkable concurrence of events or circumstances without I got lost. Definition of coincidence. A remarkable concurrence of events or circumstances without apparent casual connection. It was just a coincidence that she was wearing a jersey like Laura's. No! That's okay. Let's talk about two girls or two people that are in love getting dressed that morning and then seeing each other, like two best friends of any like level. And then you see each other in the morning or you see each other at school and you're wearing like almost the exact same thing, but nobody ever talked about it. You know, it's because your souls are so close and so connected that those things happen, I think. And I think sometimes we start to become a part of each other. If we're so close to somebody and we spend like all of their time with our time with them. So Thomas, thanks a lot for that. I really appreciate that. And I think Darkside had the same, a remarkable concurrence of events. And I thank you, Darkside Watcher Media. I really appreciate that. Remarkable concurrence of events or circumstances without apparent casual connection. Well, that's just making everyone look down, isn't it? Instead of looking up. Because if you knew that it was something brilliant and beautiful and your fucking higher self talking to you, then everybody would become awake and enlightened and realize what's going on. And I truly believe that the 1% doesn't want us all to know how magical we are. For instance, I wasn't even doing working yesterday. I was just harvesting those snowberries, thinking about, oh, how I needed the snow to like get me happy. It would give me such a boost of energy. It would just be so fulfilling. And then I wake up the next morning and it's snowing. And I slept in longer than usual. So it's not a coincidence that I stayed up late and worked on oracle cards all night. It's not a coincidence that I woke up late. It's the way it was meant to be. And these are messages from my higher self, from my spirit guides, and I truly believe that. And another reason is because like I say, it didn't snow everywhere. It's just kind of like right in this spot. Which when it does snow, it comes here, but there's no snow in town. There's no snow anywhere else. Just in this tip of the mountaintop. So let me see if anybody wants to share some of their stories, like, you know, if you can fit it into a block. And I can read them aloud about things that have happened to them that are not a coincidence. I would like to tell this story about when my brother, it's a story of my brother and his friend, and they were going on a long distance journey, like a 9-hour drive to go visit, like surprise my grandmother. And nobody knew they were coming, and this is in the 90s. There weren't well, if there were cell phones, we didn't have them. You know, they would have been those big Zach Morris cell phones. And all those folks are dead now because they were so harsh on their brain. But we didn't have cell phones, no way of communication, and it was really kind of dumb of him to just get in the car and go and not tell anybody. And something happened. The car wasn't out of gas. The car wasn't broken. It was an older car, but it wasn't broken. And my brother got, like, just the car stopped on this bridge. And that's a panicky thing because, like, you know, on a bridge there's no side to, like, go around or pull over. So he starts to panic, as anyone would. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and he was literally like, there's no town around. It's just this long, like, deserty type of road, and it was the middle of summer or something like that, I think. So it was just like creepy, eerie. If you were to walk to town, it would take you 6 or 7 hours because, you know, it would take an hour to drive to the next town. And it was just like these Eastern Washington roads. For those of you locals, you know, like what I'm talking about is like Ellensburg. They stopped in Ellensburg. So that Columbia River Bridge. And no cars were passing by, which is also really crazy because even that's a huge highway for like truckers and stuff. And it had been 20 minutes, a half an hour, no cars were passing by. And he just got in the car and was like, looked within. Okay, this is how he described it to me when he told me the story. Looked within and said, calm down, you can do this, calm down, you can do this. Something will come and save you. Someone will drive by and help you. Okay? So, a couple minutes after that, hi Sue. A couple minutes after that, and he was just sitting there with his eyes closed, like hoping, you know, something would come along. A man, and I'm not even going to say what colors he's wearing because it's so love and light, dressed in light colors, came out of nowhere, had no car, had no nothing. And he said, "Do you need help? Are you okay?" And my brother was like, "Yeah, do you have a car? Can we go get some gas or something? I think I might be out of gas. My little meter's broken." And he goes, "Do you mind if I check?" And my brother was yourself, because I think he called and summoned his higher self to come help him. That's what I think. But it could definitely be a spirit guide, an archangel, something like that. A lot of archangels come in the form of humans. Um, that's all I'm going to say about that. But so my brother gets out of the driver's seat. The man gets in, and he kind of looks around at the speedometer and like the gauges, and just kind of looks around, and he said, "Do you mind if I try to start it?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, go ahead." Starts right up. Then all of a sudden the tank is full of gas, when he was probably like at a quarter tank, he said. And he's like, "You're good to go, man. That's awesome. Like, I'm so glad I could help you." And my brother was like, "Well, do you need a ride somewhere?" And when he went to say, "Do you need a ride somewhere?" he couldn't find the man. Like, he was just gone. So, and I'm like 11 years old the first time I heard this story, probably 10 or 11 years old. And at that point, because I trust in what he said, you know, because I could see I know when people tell lies to me, when I can see their face, and I know when they're not telling lies to me. I never usually say that I know, because that's just kind of like a gift. You don't want to tell everybody about your gift. But the way a person's face changes, especially when you know really well. So you learn how they lie. You learn how they tell the truth. And the emotion in his face when he was telling the story, I don't believe he can recreate. With like, because certain types of people can't fake that type of stuff, you know? So anyway, I'm glad that you like that story. KDR, hey, welcome. So glad you're here. Yeah, I'm staying out as long as I can. I brought gloves. We still have 70% battery. We're doing good, man. So if anybody has stories they want to share, you know, do a video response. That would be amazing. Or type it here in the chat if you can get it in, the bubbles. And, but I mean, let me try and think of some other ones that have happened to me. Well, just recently, I was like in my darkest hour, which, you know, I don't want to talk about a ton, but, and I got so uncomfortable and so much anxiety and so much like sadness that I just screamed out, like in my bed. I screamed out, "Somebody needs to help me. I can't do this anymore. I need spirit guides. I need you to send me someone, like someone to help me, some kind of friend, some kind of support system, some kind of something." And I was screaming, "Help me," you know? And then, you know, 2 days later, I can't really explain like in detail what happened, but 2 days later, well, one, Tiki Lee started texting me 2 days later. That's why I'm so fond of her as well. And I tell you guys that she, you know, helped me bring me out of this hole. But, and things like, you know, Joyce Jordan, like always worrying about me. I know a lot of you guys do, but like, I just couldn't let everybody down. And so, if you're ever in a hard spot, and again, saying these things out loud, like projecting them, getting your voice to resonate in the universe like a vibration, your higher self or your spirit guides or whoever's looking out for you that you believe will respond. But I think you have to have faith in it, and I'm not talking about go to church faith and fear God faith. That's not what I'm talking about. That's the opposite of what I'm talking about. I don't look down on anybody that goes to church, absolutely not. But I just have never been felt comfortable calling myself. So, that being said, where are we at in the chat? I'm trying to make sure Synchronicity. Thank you, Iridescent Sea. A meaningful coincidence of two or more events where something other than the probability of chance is involved. That's Carl Jung's. Yes, absolutely. So, if you guys don't know Carl Jung, Jung, CarlJung, so inspirational. all that band art on the front of Tool's albums and stuff, a lot of it is like either done or inspired by his work. Um, but he is one of my favorite people to listen to. I will put some on the Patreon channel today, some Carl Jung interviews on different topics that I think are important. Because you listen to this guy, and the videos are all from the 60s, you know, because he's been gone quite some time. But he's the one who's really gotten to the 46 and 2 evolution of, like, transcendence, kind of a living on Earth transcendence theory. It's really cool if you look up what that all means. So I'll try and share some of those things on Patreon today about that and synchronicities. And there's actually a video where Carl Jung talks about synchronicities. So thanks for bringing that up, Iridescency. I really appreciate it. Oh, yeah, Uncle Badger, no, I know. I know, dude. I just, you know, it's how it ended up. But I'm okay, and I'm here, and that's all that really matters. And, you know, I'm going to do anything it takes to keep myself as happy as possible and not let myself sink down ever again. Yes, take care of you, Jen will always be here. Well, you guys take care of me, so thank you for that. Jessica, hello, welcome to the chat. Oh no, my feet are getting cold. I got my boots on. I should have put on a bunch of pairs of socks. I'll just lift my foot up. Thanks! It's really good for the graveyard, because black wards negativity, and the spikes make it so that spirits can't hop in, because, you know, they like to hop in your head. And then you could do a double cover like this, so if they were like, haha, I'll be tricky and get in that way. Oh, no, you won't! Bitch! No, so yeah, I made a couple more new Cave Girl accessories. I was cutting up t-shirts the other day and making them into tank tops or like tank dresses. Because that's one other thing I love to do, go thrift like giant t-shirts and then cut them up and make them into either pillows or tank tops or dresses, or I want to make a big band t-shirt patchwork quilt one day, like a comforter cover. So many ideas. I need you guys to come join me. Start this like awesome witchy commune so that we can all like work together on all our creative ideas. Because when we put our creative ideas together, that's when things like Cave Girl are born, you know. So my head is just, woo! Where am I going with what I'm saying? One day I'll have somebody here to help me and be like, you were just talking about that, Jennifer. I need a Cave Girl stick. I have one. I'll bring it down next time we do a Cave Girl talk. Cave Girl chat. Mage says, I had a dream where Bridget told me to make a wand with Rowan. That's really cool. Then when I looked, the perfect piece was on the ground. Yeah. The goddess or coincidence or serendipity. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we all kind of agree on the topic, you know. Whoop whoop! Jessica, you're funny. So what do I want to say? Better put on my gloves. It's starting to get cold. These are from a channel member. I think Magical Mandy sent these to me. It was either her or Tess, but I got them last year around Christmas time. They're so nice. They're lined, and they're knitted, and they're awesome. Ah, yeah. That's better. And they have fingers, so I can still talk to you guys. Because I talk through my fingers like this. Sprinkles! Hey, Purple Sky's here. Welcome! Here's a snowball for you. I think I got lipstick on my teeth. Oh, well, what are you going to do? It's pretty Cave Girl anyway. Also, Carl Jung is the guy that started off the whole shadow work thing. I didn't know that. I know he talks about shadow work a ton, but I didn't know he started it. He did some in-depth stuff about it for those that would like to do big studies and workings on it. Well, then we all have so much to thank him for, and every time I do shadow work, which is, we all do it every day in one way or another, whether we're thinking about our past selves and getting sad or getting over it, right? Like, unless we compartmentalize, in my opinion, unless we compartmentalize things, which happens after trauma and abuse and things like that, other stuff, then we're going to remember things that we did, right? But if we don't remember things we did, I think, or things that happened to us, it's just because our brains are these like amazingly beautiful, immaculate mechanisms that know if our bodies can handle it. Like, let's just give an example. It's not going to be pretty, okay? It's not going to be a pretty example, but it's one of the best examples I can give you. If a child is molested or raped, like at a young age, their brains will forget about it, they'll just not remember, or they'll split. Sometimes this will happen over lots of abuse. Their brains will split. I'm not a doctor. I think it's dumb I have to say that, but I'm not. And add another separate person to take the pain, okay? Because they know that this child, that your brain knows that this body, this child is, or the soul is so weak toward that topic or toward that instance that we wouldn't be okay the rest of our lives if we remembered. Okay, this is why a lot of times you hear stories about people going to therapy to figure out what happened when they were little. I think that your body will tell you when it's right, and you shouldn't try and dig it out. And the reason I think that, and if you do, that's totally fine. But for me personally, with my childhood traumas and stuff, I feel like if they ever come back to me, they'll come back when the time is right and when my body can handle it. Now, some children will have like signs of abuse, but not remember anything. You know, just kind of take that into account. And a lot of us that have children, just remember that this world is not all love and light. You absolutely can be, but the rest of the world is, there's got to be a duality. There has to be a balance. There's always going to be good and evil. So, but the brain is just such a amazing thing that it can know when the soul inside can handle that or not. And so I think that people look at compartmentalization and DID or multiple personalities, whatever you want to call it, they look at it as something that is a mental illness. That's your body at its strongest, man. If your body can take care of yourself like that, then that's a strength. And this is what I was on about the other night when I was talking about, you know, I've had doctors that told me I'm schizophrenic before. Possibly that's true. I think that I was explaining my gifts to them, and they were like, okay, it ticks all these boxes. And I'm not telling you to get off your medicine, ever. I would never say that. But if you are having a bunch of people tell you, go to the doctor because I think you're bipolar, go to the doctor because I think you're this or that, or schizophrenic or psychopath or whatever. You know, if it was me, I would really do as much research as you could before getting on those medications, because my intuition tells me that they are, you know, numbing our gifts. It's probably all I should say on the topic, because I feel like it's getting a little bit sad or whatever, but I hope that it's not. So I'm going to check some comments here. Hey Janine, welcome. So nice to see you. Magical mittens for the kitten. Meow. It's so nice to see the snow. I'm from the UP. Where's UP? And being in the desert has you missing the snow. Yeah, I couldn't live without snow. You know, I mean, it's one of the things that just bring ultimate happiness to me. As soon as I warm up by the fireplace inside, and as soon as Peggy wakes up, because she likes to stay up till like 3 or 4 in the morning and sleep in. I wonder where I get it. I'm going to ask her if she has her old snowsuit. It's so cool. It's this like, they're white pants with a bib, you know, like the old school 80s snow. And then there's like rainbow on it. And she also has these rainbow snow boots that are so Napoleon Dynamite. It's hilarious. And that's the one really cool thing about having a mom who can't get rid of stuff ever, is because you can literally wear the snow pants that you were wearing when you were a kid, or that you played, like, I didn't wear them when I was a kid, but my mom and I would play in the snow together, and she would wear those snow pants, and I remember they were white with rainbows. It was so cool, because sometimes it would look like you couldn't even see her, because it was white. And it's just such good times, and yeah, it's been washed, and yeah, the DNA's, like, not completely on there from the times or whatever, but it's not about that. The energies still reside in there, all that happiness, all that fun, all that joy. So, you know, if it's just awesome. And if I had even my childhood snowsuit, I would probably like make it into like a scarf or something that I could wear around my neck, like to bring back that like youthful, happy energy. And yeah, it's just such good stuff. Patreon's in the description, guys, if you've not checked that out yet, to support the channel, as well as get exclusive videos. Iridescency, it says we could compartmentalize as a coping mechanism. Right. Absolutely. Jessica says an alter personality. Yes, I understand fully. You have a few. And, so, Jessica, you understand alter personalities, and some people can create their own alters, like, when they want to. But I mean, compartmentalization and DID are definitely a little different. Don't get, not you, Jessica, but don't get confused, everybody, when we put those together. But it's just such, I don't know, I think that's your body at its smartest. It's just like, I would never try and dig my past out. If I need to know it, or if I can handle it, my brain will tell me again. So Tracy was hurt as a child, and you did all the memory recovery work alone. That's awesome. If you can see a therapist, don't do it like I did. I was horrible into. Well, yeah. I hear what you're saying, and everybody's gonna have different opinions. And I like yours. And I like that you suggest a therapist, because we are all different and we all do handle things differently. And our intuitions and experiences tell us different stuff. But my higher self screams at me a lot of times every time I think about digging it out. Like, I'll make an appointment with a therapist and then it'll get canceled 3 times, and I'm like, okay, it wasn't meant to be then. You know? Or my car will, like, have trouble, or I'll run out of gas on the way there. Okay, so but that's what I'm talking about. Since I was little, since my brother told me that story about the man saving him, either his higher self, archangel, or spirit guide saving him on the bridge that night that we told earlier. I've just been, like, I guess that opened up my spiritual brain. You know, it was one of the things, just other than being a kid on the farm and doing stuff on my own. I spent a lot of time alone. That's probably another reason why I have so many alter personalities, is because you have to entertain yourself when you're alone, and that means saying both sides of the conversation. And then you get bored of talking to 2 people, so you bring a third person in. And it would look like a horror movie, just a little girl running around a farm talking to all these. And it wasn't an invisible friend. I knew what I was doing. I was creating my own, like, people to talk to. Now I have you guys, so I talk a lot less to myself. I sing a lot more, you know? It's good stuff. So I'm going to try and get caught up on the chat. Tracy, I'm really sorry for that. And if you ever need to talk, I'm here, because I understand. Yes, warm hugs, Tracy, from everyone. Brittany says, Tracy, you were so strong for working through it. Absolutely. And we're all going to want to do it in our different ways, you know. Maybe I'm avoiding it because I'm scared, you know. But I do try and let life happen as it happens for me. I do shy away from doctors. I do try to take care of myself. And that's been working pretty well, you know. Hence that trouble we had a while ago, but that was because of alcohol. You guys are all so sweet. So, and Tracy, that's not an easy thing to share. But I'm so glad that you feel comfortable with the people that are here enough to share. You know, because that's really, really, really not easy. But I hope that it's comforting. Shay, hey, how are you? Welcome, Shay Wilson. Appalachian Mountains, love snow. Oh, okay. I want to visit the Appalachian Mountains. So much backwoods witchcraft happens up there. I would love to see some of like, yeah, man. One day I'll get up there for sure. And you can mine all these different kinds of like crystals out of there, I hear. Mage says when it's cold I stay in and do alchemy spells with powdered elements. Nice. Have a lot of fun and poison myself. What could be better? You know, if I don't clean up my room, I'm gonna end up... No, I'm never gonna say that. But there's poisons everywhere. I gotta take care of them. Where are we in the chit-chat? Paddywhack. KDR says, I can't lie, I still talk to myself quite a bit. Yeah, me too. It's a lot less because I can turn on the camera and talk to you guys. But I did a video the other day without turning on the camera in front of the mirror. And it was so good. I wish I would have turned on the camera, but it takes me so long to upload. I just had to practice it because I was going to talk about some heavy topics, which I already did. Well, it's cold out here, so I'm going to do some cave girl stuff real quick. And then later, maybe we'll come back and play in the snow, but it is starting to actually, like, kind of drizzle around. Love and lightning to everybody. I'm so glad that you are enjoying these Cave Girl chats because I'm enjoying them so much. Patreon's down in the description. Go check it out. You still have today and you could get in for December. I fucking love you guys. See you soon. Kiss, kiss, ta. Peace.